Hello, hello. I thought we would take a few minutes and talk about fountain pens and getting into owning fountain pens and what I suggest for you to start with. So if you're interested, then stay tuned. So I wanted to talk about fountain pens a little bit today. That's sort of like veering off of the general planner cover accessories and all that, but I guess you could kind of lump this into accessories in one way or another. So in the past, I've done like fountain pen hauls and my fountain pen collection and all of those things. And I wanted to just kind of talk about what are some of the pens that you can get into to start with if you're interested in writing with fountain pens, what ones that I recommend to start with and why. So let's go ahead and get right into it. So I'm just going to push these ones to the side for now, and actually these as well, and we're just going to kind of focus on a few of these right here. So I have tried a number of the lower end fountain pens from anywhere from Pilot Metropolitan to the Prera to different Sailor ones. I've tried quite a few of the different like lower end, and when I say lower end, we're talking like less than $30. And to be honest, I ended up giving all of them away because they just were either really frustrating for me, or they were, no matter what ink I put in them, they were always drying up really fast. So there's a few that have sort of become my go-tos that I will use for the lower end of fountain pens. And so I just wanted to kind of talk about some of these right here. So new to my collection, fairly new, are these three Quecos. And these are like pocket pens, and I will show you. So you take this off and then you can cap it, and there you go, you have a pen. So now this particular one is a more pricey one. This one is going to end up costing around $80 to $90 depending on where you buy it, plus the clip is like $6. So this one is, even though I absolutely love it, this is not technically one that I would recommend starting with. One of the ones that I would recommend starting with would be in the Koiko Sport line. So these two are both in the Sport line. This is a limited edition. It was the iridescent, and I don't have a clip on this one currently, but that is basically what it looks like, and that's like the size of it in your hand when you're writing. It is a plastic material, so it is super lightweight, and then it kind of goes together like this. So if you compare it to a normal size fountain pen, it really falls into the pocket pen category because it is a lot smaller. So this particular one and this particular one cost less than $30. I want to say right around like 27, somewhere in that range. You can really shop around to all the different fountain pen places and find different ones. I purchased this one with the hopes of, when I get my Vanishing custom liaison, which I mean, I'll have it in a few months, I guess. Who knows? But I got this one so that it'll match that, because it's sort of that like beigey color similar to that. So this one's just kind of sitting, waiting for that one to arrive, because they do fit really nicely, and I will show you for those interested, they fit really nicely in a standard pen loop from Vanishing, and I will show you that. So you would just use this bottom part, and you can either use it in the top like this and just, you know, have your pen sit like that, or you can put it in from the bottom end, and since it is so compact here, it fits on both sides and doesn't get in the way of anything. So that's like a double bonus for me. I am going to use this one in here. I'm actually waiting for a converter to come from Goulet pens so that I can use it. But yeah, so just like get it in there. How pretty is that with the lavender? So beautiful. Okay, so that was the bunny trail. We'll get off that. So anything in the Koiko Sport line is definitely something that I recommend if you want to try out some fountain pens without spending boatloads of money. So I will show you, it's really quite simple. I'll show you on both. So this one, I actually have the little mini converter in here, and I will show you when I take it out so you can see it's just so tiny right here. That's the converter. And so I just have it inked up. This is a Pilot Kuka, I don't even know how to say it. It's a really pretty kind of grayish blue color from Pilot. But that is what the little converter looks like in that. Now, if you don't want to use a converter, you can use a cartridge. And let me grab one out right here. So you can use a cartridge in one of these instead, and you would just put it in here like so. I'm not going to do it, but you would like push it down into here, and then you would put this back on and you'd be good to go. So you would be all done just like that. The cartridge, they always ship them with blue, and it's a pretty blah blue, so I have a collection of those because I don't use them. But so definitely these Koiko Pilot pens, these ones are the sports. I do like the sports. I like how they write. I like to write big, so I do recommend if you're like me and you like to write big, I get the double broads, and they're still pretty small looking. So that's my recommendation if you're a big fat writer like me. Let me grab my sample book out and I can show you really quick. This is just like whenever I ink them up, I just write all over here. Let's see. I was testing out some pens, so we'll just use this one. That's fine. And I mean, this baby writes every single time without fail. It's never stopped on me. It's always writing super smooth. So I definitely have, I don't know if I've lucked out or if that is just how they are baseline, but there you go. So this is the double broad, and like I said, this particular one is a Sailor ink. I wrote it down here. Nope, it's the Sailor, there it is, Yuramiku Koiko. So there you go. And yeah, I like how wet the ink flows. So this is definitely one I would recommend for an under $30 pen. So the next one that I would recommend would be the TWSBI Echo, and let's zoom out. Now, in my opinion, an Echo or an Echo T, it doesn't matter. They're both very, very similar to me. Both of these are Echoes, but I do have some, this is an Echo T. I don't remember the differences, but if you're looking at them like this, it's so minimal. I'm trying to think. Yeah, like I can look at them and barely know the difference other than this. The ends, the caps are a little bit different. But everything else looks pretty similar. So I definitely recommend TWSBI Echo. Again, this is another like 20-something dollar fountain pen. The great thing about the TWSBI Echo is that it is a piston filler. And for a beginner, a piston filler is pretty simple to use. You literally just twist it, and you see that little rubber stopper going up and down, and when you pull it back, it sucks the ink out. So you literally would dip your pen, and this is one way of doing it. There are other ways of filling. You can fill by taking this unit off and syringing it down through, and then you have to put it back on. For a beginner, I don't recommend doing that because you might seat it back in incorrectly. So I would say to just submerge past this little hole here on your pen, okay? So you would submerge past there in your ink, and you would twist it. Make sure that it's all the way plunged down when you start. Put it in, and then plunge it up, and it will suck up the ink. And it's really just that simple. And you know, there's a lot of ink capacity in these. I think that they're 2 mLs. I could be wrong, but it's a lot of ink capacity. So you could fill this up and use it for a long time and not have to constantly refill it. So another thing that I super like about the TWSBI Echo. So certainly recommended. You know, you can find deals on these and get them for like $15, $17. Generally they're in the mid-20s, but you can definitely find deals. And especially like when someone like me is selling, I'm selling these too. You can get deals on, keeps trying to roll. You can get deals on Virtual Pen Show, on Instagram, and different places like that where people will sell different fountain pens. I'm just de-stashing some things because I'm trying to downsize my office space. So I'm just sort of in that mindset of trying to cut back on things that I don't need. And yeah, so I am selling either of these. I did reinstate my Instagram account because people were complaining they couldn't get a hold of me. It's really the only thing that I use it for other than like stalking other accounts to just look at things. But yeah, so you can message me on Instagram if you're interested in either of these. This one is stained a little bit from a blue ink that actually someone else, because I'm the second owner of this one. So I would literally sell this one for like $12 plus shipping. So if you're interested. And then this one, probably would sell for, 18 plus shipping. So that is that. But then if you graduate from this and you want to step up a little bit, my recommendation is still to stick to the TWSBI line. So why is that? Again, mostly it's because piston filling. Mostly it's because of having a large ink capacity. But also partly it's because TWSBI's just been around long enough that like their nibs are tuned well out of the box generally. You know, you can literally put ink in them and go. So these ones will be a little bit more pricey. These particular ones, this is the 580 RG Series 2, which RG just stands for rose gold because the metal is rose gold color. This one is the Diamond 580 ALR, and they do make quite a few different 580s. And this one is just a little bit different, you know, from some of the other ones, and of course it's purple. So these ones are gonna run you closer to the $100 mark, anywhere between $70 and $100. It just depends on which one you get. I want to say this one's 83 or something like that, brand new. And I don't remember how much this one was because it's been a while since I've owned it, or since I purchased it. But this one will be right about the same, right around there in price comparison. But again, you can find these through different websites secondhand if you want to try and get your hands on them that way. So that is that next step up from, say, the TWSBI Echo line. After that, still sticking somewhat close to the $100 price point, my next recommendation would be a Pilot Vanishing Point or a Pilot Decimo. And this one is like really cool because it has a retractable nib and it's just like a cookie pen, but the nib retracts. And it's just a good, generally smooth writer. This looks like it's kind of wonky because the clip is here and that's where you hold your hand. But believe me when I say you get used to it really quickly and you just don't even realize that it's there. So this would be kind of my next recommendation if you made the decision that you're going to move up from the 20 to 30, move up from the 70 to 90-ish range. This one is going to run you anywhere between 100 to 130. So it just depends. You can find deals on them. It depends on where you're going. After that, but still sticking very close to that price range, my next recommendation, to be completely honest, would be to just go into a what we call a bespoke. And basically what that means is a maker that turns pens themselves. And so you can find a lot of makers. I found quite a few on Instagram that, and some of them that are somewhat new but still do a great job. You can find their pens that are like really cool colors and really cool shapes for, you know, $115 to $150 each. And sometimes if you buy multiple pens, you can get deals. But this particular one is from a gentleman named Harvey. I'm dropping my pens. I didn't break it, I promise. And he owns Wood Wonders of North Carolina. And he makes some really great pens as well. His price point, I want to say, is generally around $135 to $165, $175. Of course, the more customizations that you get, the higher the cost goes. That goes with everything. But if you really wanted to splurge, I say definitely then support, you know, a small business and somebody like this. And this one's a little more pricey. This one was made from Scriptorium. She has like a 2-year wait list, so hers definitely are a little more pricey, but there are a lot of makers that are kind of closer to that $100 price point for their pens. So that is that. I did a lot of rambling to kind of say what I said, but definitely without a doubt, my number one first recommendation for you guys after really using them and really loving them would be one of these little Koiko pocket pens. Just easy to get into, super lightweight, and you can find them in so many different colors and from a lot of different stores. So thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to comment down below, like and subscribe and all that fun stuff, and I will see y'all in the next video. Bye.